Welcome back to ABC News Live. First, a key U.S. ally is criticizing President Trump after he announced a new start of Ukraine peace talks. Trump's announcement came shortly after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told allies Ukraine cannot liberate all Russian-occupied territory and won't be given NATO security protection as part of any peace deal. Now, Germany's defense minister says, quote, the Trump administration has already made public concessions to Putin before negotiations have even begun. Let's bring in Ukrainian journalist Illia Ponomarenko, author of I Will Show You How It Was, the story of wartime in Kyiv, for more. Illia, thank you for coming on. What's your reaction to President Trump announcing this new peace effort?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Ukraine had a very emotional night last night. There was a lot of emotions and the entire range of emotions and words that could be said about what was happening on social media and in public conversations too. And with words like betrayal popping up all the time, it's always what's happening in Ukraine in defining moments like this. Even though everybody understands that essentially the Trump administration in last night's assertions, they did not say anything new regarding the Ukrainian NATO status, regarding the American willingness to support the deoccupation of the entire Ukrainian territory. But there was a lot of emotions, and I think we shouldn't blame the Ukrainian community for being so emotional about this, because the question of the Trump administration approach towards the possible negotiations, towards the Kremlin, towards Ukraine, towards possible peace deal, something like that, it was about a lot of uncertainty from the Ukrainian side. We in Ukraine, the average Ukrainian has a lot of dissatisfaction about what the previous administration was doing regarding the support of Ukraine, regarding the future of Ukraine. And the coming of Trump was seen as a risk, but also as a chance to make a difference, to do something different, to step away from Biden's approach that seemingly was leading us nowhere, with multiple limitations, with multiple acts of so-called aggression management, escalation management. So whenever we see something that everybody also understands, that the Trump administration has a big temptation to go the easiest way about Ukraine, about Russia, about the entire war, and to enter separate negotiations and talk with Putin and going essentially the easiest way about this. So it triggers a lot of emotions about this. At the same time, we have this model of emotions very quickly cooling down and getting back to more rational and practical side of the matter. And essentially, everybody, all the time when it happens, we end up saying the same phrase that became some sort of a wartime saying in this. It could be described and translated as, no matter what happens, we have our own thing to do. So lots of emotions, seesaw, but at the same time, it cools down and we have something to do for this country.
Now, Illia, most military analysts say that Ukraine taking back all its territory isn't realistic, and they've been saying that for a while. So could it be helpful for Ukraine to go into these negotiations with realistic expectations?
The big problem about this is that, yes, it's 100% true, is that in the current circumstances, given the previous history of the 3 years of the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine retaking 100% of its territory doesn't seem to be like a very realistic possibility, because of many mistakes on our side, but because of many mistakes on the side of our partners, admittedly. At the same time, the big problem arises is that many people genuinely have this question: why can't you just enter negotiations, freeze this war, stop what it is? You have achieved quite a lot in this war against so many expectations. Why don't you stop and get busy strengthening your country and the military, and so on and so forth? The problem is that there is no one on the Kremlin side, on the other side of the world, who's seriously ready to give us this ceasefire, the true peace. Moscow does not want to generally leave Ukraine alone forever, let Ukraine go on with the progress, with the national development, with the Western rapprochement, with security, with military buildup. Because after all, it was never about certain regions. It was never about stopping Ukraine from something, or the language issue or something like that. It was about the entire Ukraine, entire existence of Ukraine as the independent country. So, when Kremlin proposes you a choice in entering negotiations, it's just a temptation. It's just an instrument of exterminating Ukraine as an independent country, and call this peace achieved by peace talks. So we don't have an option and a choice of simply ending this war and making some certain concessions and get rid of the conflict with Russia forever, because it's not about certain things. It's about the entire country. So.
All right, Ukrainian journalist and author Illia Ponomarenko, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.